Oh, it talks to us now when we record. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Christy and Jessica's doTERRA Essential Oil Education and Support Team classes. Tonight, we're going to be focusing in on reflexology and essential oil application. So I think that, oh, there's Jessica. Yay, Jessica made it. All right. Welcome, Jessica. I see that you just got here. I wasn't sure if you'd get home from work on time or not. I'm not going to go the whole way through the Zoom housekeeping. I do think we have one person here who has not made it to Zooms in the past. However, this is our Zoom housekeeping rules. Biggest thing to keep in mind is that we do mute everybody coming in. We do also have a PowerPoint up. So if you do not see the PowerPoint, you might need to swipe in order to see that. Unless you've called in on a telephone, then you won't be able to see that. But if you are using one of the apps, you should be able to see a PowerPoint. And keep in mind, if you have your camera turned on, that if you talk or whatever, we may be able to see you and it may be on the recording. So we are recording the stuff. I'm not going to go through the rest of the stuff on the Zoom housekeeping. So, hi. So hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming to join us this evening. Today is June 1st, 2021. I am Christy, and I am a mom of 3 amazing children, one of whom has a diagnosis of autism. I'm going to be chatting a little bit more about his needs and how they led me to my career as a reflexologist a little bit later. Tonight, our focus is going to be on how essential oils led me to my full-time career as a certified reflexologist. And I'm going to give you guys some simple at-home reflexology techniques you can use for our top wellness needs. Jessica, I know that you had a really long work day. Did you want to introduce yourself tonight?
Sure, I can introduce myself. I'm Jessica. I'm a mom of 3. I got into essential oils from Christy. She was doing reflexology, introduced me to balance, and now my go-to is balance as well as probiotic and the GX Assist.
Awesome. Whoops, I think that I'm hitting the wrong buttons. Hopefully you guys can still see me because I saw something pop up about my camera. Let me see if I knock that off. I really need to listen to Anna and take those courses. Okay, it looks like my camera's still on. All right, so first off, what is reflexology? Reflexology, it is typically on the hands, feet, or ears of the body. It is a process of hand techniques that use intermittent pressure, and it's applied to the reflexes of the hands, feet, or ears. The reflexes is a fancy word for a map to everything going on in your body. So reflexology can promote improved blood circulation, which in turn helps with the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to the cells and the removal of waste. So what it does is it increases the body processes when we hit those reflexes. And when I say intermittent pressure, hopefully you guys can see me on the camera. That is like going in and off, like what I'm doing on my hand. So I'll be saying that a couple times tonight, but intermittent is on and off pressure, typically thumb walking or finger walking over the reflexes. The chart I used on this screen is a doTERRA chart, and it is showing some of the reflexes, but it's also giving you some tips for essential oils and products that would go with those things. I know this chart's really hard to see, but you can find it online. You can get it on Aroma Tools. There's a similar chart in the Modern Essentials book, but I will talk a little bit more about that later. So that is what reflexology is. What are essential oils? Essential oils are the essence of a plant. They're the gift from the earth, and they're distilled and prepared for you to bring the power of nature into your home. Inside many plants, hidden in the roots, the seeds, the flower, or the bark, are concentrated, highly potent chemical compounds. These natural compounds are essential oils, and essential oils give the planet scent, and it also protects it from hazardous environment conditions or pests or that type of stuff. And it may even help with pollination, among the other important functions and benefits of essential oils. So it's not just for our uses, it's also for the plant's usage. So that's what essential oils are. So what I'm going to talk about is how we combine reflexology and the essential oils to get more benefit tonight. So in 2012, I was introduced to essential oils, and my son was in 4th grade at that point, and he was having a lot of meltdowns because of his autism. And I was honestly at my wit's end. But the only thing I was doing for myself, because I was mostly a stay-at-home mom at that point, and dealing with his stuff and my other 2 children's stuff, I was blogging. So I would blog about his stuff, and I would write stories about the adventures I had with him and his emotional ups and downs. And one of my friends from way back in middle school had seen that blog, and she actually contacted me in 2012 and said, I really think essential oils could really, really help your son. And I initially kind of blew her off. I thought she was just trying to sell me a product, and I kind of just blew her off at the beginning. And then we talked more. She was living in Utah at that point, which is where doTERRA is founded. And I was here in Pennsylvania. So I was here where I always have been. And we started chatting more and talking more. And I actually started to research essential oils. And in this area, essential oils were not commonly talked about yet in Lebanon County, Pennsylvania. But I started to research, and then she moved back here in June of 2012, and we started getting together for play dates. And I had some essential oil experiences with her where she gave samples to my family for different things. I've talked about some of those things in the past, but tonight what I'm going to talk about the most is how my son's autism led to me becoming a reflexologist. So a lot of kids with autism or other sensory type or neurological type disabilities have sensory issues as well. So my son had a lot of touch sensory issues and as well as scent issues. And there is a book, I should have put the slide in here to say what the book is, but the Modern Essentials book is kind of like this huge guide to doTERRA's stuff. So once I started using products, it had this reflexology chart like I had showed you 2 slides ago. And because my son had scent issues, I was having struggles finding essential oils that would work well for him, that weren't ones that he had an adverse reaction to because he didn't enjoy the scent. So what we did is we started looking at the reflexology chart. And in this picture here, I'm showing you an image of the brain reflex, which is on the big toe. That's not pointing to the exact spot, but there's a lot going on your big toe. There's the pituitary gland reflex. There is your thyroid reflex. There's your neck reflex. There is your pineal gland. There is so much going on the big toe. But since autism is a neurological disorder, I decided to apply essential oils to his big toe, and then we would put socks over his feet. This would take away the fact that there would be a strong scent. In the image here, I put balance on because this is one of the ones I use the most often with him. However, I was using stronger oils that had scents that were much more earthy, that had patchouli and vetiver and that type of stuff. And those strong ones, he really didn't enjoy the smell. However, what I was noticing is what was 45-minute meltdowns prior to essential oils, if I applied an oil to his brain reflex, we were seeing him have a meltdown that was under 5 minutes. And I literally went and got called into I was at the school's office, or not at the office, I was at the elementary school volunteering for PTO. And I was actually in a meeting for yearbook, and the school knew I was there. And my son was having a meltdown. Now, this was when he was in 5th grade, I believe. I think it was about a year after I started using doTERRA. And he was having a meltdown, and he did have his oils with him, but he typically would not use them on his own at that point. So the school principal wasn't in the building. The school psychologist was busy with someone else. And because they knew I was there, they actually asked me to come to help. And I actually put balance on his big toe. And not only did he calm down within 2 or 3 minutes, I had him back in the classroom, which was unheard of. And he did not come back home that day. So that was at like 10 o'clock in the morning. He managed to finish the whole school day. So typically what would happen with him back then when he was younger would be that he would have one meltdown, we'd get him calmed down, or the school would get him calmed down, and then he would have another subsequent meltdown that day because he was already at a heightened level. This did not happen once we started using the balance oil. So this became my family's life-saving oil. But not only did it do that, I became extremely curious about the reflexes of the body. So that's how we got here. It was a very long story of my journey of how I ended up as a reflexologist. So from there, I then moved on to using other essential oils. So like I said, in the picture is Balance. Balance is a whole body grounding essential oil. I actually use this one a lot. It is one that doesn't have as strong of a scent. Spruce is its main essential oil, but it is a blend of essential oils. So it has multiple oils in there. It can be very soothing. It can help with calming, with anxiety and stress. Jessica had mentioned that this is one of the ones she uses. It is also one that I use on myself and carry everywhere I go. Along with Intune is another one that I also use. I believe someone put something in the chat. Jessica, if you don't mind checking the chat, unless it was you, I will check then as I get moving on here. But Balance is a very grounding oil. So that was one of the top ones I used for my son, but it can be used for a lot of other things. So that is Balance. And before I move on, I'll quick see if that was something. Oh, it just says, love the story. It says volumes. Thank you. I believe that was Anna who typed that. Thank you, Anna. So I'm going to move on to the next slide. So the next one here, so this is the next thing that I was getting a lot of people. When I started doTERRA, I started for my family. It was something that I did because I felt it was very helpful once I started using the stuff for my son's autism, once I started using it for inflammatory issues and support of those things. I was also using it for digestive stuff I had going on. I had talked about the cleanse in the past and how the cleanse had helped me with what I had going on back at that point in my life. But a lot of people were having digestive issues, and Digest Zen essential oil. So that's that first bottle there on the left side. This is the entire Digest Zen labeled. Well, I guess it's not the entire one because they actually have the Zendocrine and stuff listed as Digest Zen products as well. But this is the Digest Zen line. And at that point, they didn't have the Touch one, which is the one in the third one over. People started asking about digestive stuff, and Digest Zen is not a scent that everybody loves. It has ginger in it, caraway, a bunch of essential oils, but it is really great for digestive support and some other body supports. So I started looking on the chart because it doesn't have a great scent. I started looking at the chart and was suggesting to people that maybe they should put the Digest Zen on their foot, and people were having amazing results. So again, I was finding that applying to reflexes is this amazing magical thing. So the Digest Zen was another thing I wanted to put in here because that was like my next example that I used the reflexology chart for as I was starting to learn about reflexology way back in the 2012, 2013. I actually went to school. I started in 2015. So it took me a couple years to start going to school, but it is something that totally led me to the career I am in now, is looking at these charts. And if anybody has that Modern Essentials, they have the chart in that book. And if you need help figuring out what the Modern Essentials book is, you can let me or Jessica know, whoever invited you tonight. Just let us know if you need to know what book I'm talking about. So, all right, so here's the next slide. So here's some other simple essential oil applications. Oh, I didn't even tell you where. Sorry, go back to Digest Zen for a second. So if you guys are looking at the foot chart here, all that purpley area stuff is the vast majority of the digestive system. So when you're going up in below the toe there, they are showing that there's a little bit of stuff. So that would be your upper part. So that would be the stuff that's up under the big toe. That would be where the, for people who have like acid reflux and stuff. So that would be an area for support for that type of digestive stuff. As you move down, you'll start seeing there's the liver, the gallbladder, pancreas, and stomach. That if that's where you're having your issue, you would be applying kind of on the upper end of the arch. And then for the intestines, the small and large intestines, if you have issues there, I would suggest using your Digest Zen on that lower part of your arch and going into part of your heel. So that's what they're showing here. I meant to talk about that when I was on the slide before I flipped. So there's that. I'm not talking too fast, correct? Is everybody okay? Okay, I'm assuming we're good. All right. So here's some other simple stuff. So simple essential oil applications with the products. Oh, and those areas, you also can do some simple techniques. If anybody was watching last week, I posted a video online. I think I might have sent it out in one of the emails as well. It was a 3-minute video. I had a client call me with a major migraine last Friday, and instead of trying to describe to her how to do the reflex points while she was at work, I did a quick video. So along with the essential oil application, you can do that intermittent pressure that I was talking about. So for the digestive, the hands are at the same spot, by the way. So I'm showing the feet in the pictures, but if it's showing the big toe, it would equate to your thumb. Or if we're talking about the arch of your foot, that would be in this area, the center part of your palm. So you can find hand charts online and it'll give you a better idea. It is slightly different. But you can do that intermittent pressure that we talked about. So when we talk about moving on to other things, let's do the support of tension. So when we're talking tension, let's think about our neck, tension in our neck, or tension and stress and pressure in our sinuses or our shoulders. Or like I said, the client who frantically called me on or texted me on Friday while at work with a migraine. So head tension. I'm trying to stay in line with what we are allowed to be saying. So support of these areas. So breathe blend would be really great for your respiratory support. So you would want to try areas like number 8. So under the fingers, the first or the second and third finger, or the second and third toe where number 8 is, that blue area, doing that intermittent pressure along with putting a little bit of your breathe oil or maybe even peppermint, one of the other essential oils that might really be good for respiratory support. Trying to think of other ones off of the top of my head since I put breathe on as the main one. Eucalyptus. Those are all really great oils for respiratory support. 9, now if you're having pressure closer to the sinuses out near the ears, then you'd want to move over to in between your 3rd and 4th and going over to that 5th finger. So that would get into the sinus area of the ears and over in here in those other ones in that blue where number 8 is. That would be where your eye sinuses are and up into there. Like we talked about for Dominic, the brain reflex, if you're having head tension, that would be really great. So where they're showing number 1 and number 2, that would be really awesome. A lot of people get neck tension along with their respiratory or issues like that. So number 7, where it's showing on the inside of the big toe or on the thumb. Hopefully you guys are seeing me in the image today. I know sometimes my camera isn't really great. So those would be really great for your respiratory. If you're having lung stuff, going underneath just a little bit lower into your fingers where number 11 is on the foot. So that upper pad of your foot or right underneath the fingers where number 11 is, that would be like the lungs and that cavity of the body. And then 12 there, that's your shoulders. So going under the pinky toe or under your little finger. So that would be really great areas for those areas of tension. So some other oils that might be helpful is deep blue, aroma touch. That would be really great for the neck and shoulder tension. But if you don't like those oils on your body and actually applying them to your neck, you can apply them to your reflexes and get great benefits is what I'm saying. So a lot of people put directly on the area, but if it's just that oil just is one you don't want, or you're going somewhere where you don't want to smell like that oil, you can use the reflexes. That's what this class is all about, is trying to use your feet to be able to get some of those benefits. Or if you're having, like my client did on Friday, a moment at work where you are in pain, but still need to keep working and you are having that tension, you can definitely work your reflexes on your hands, or if you are flexible and can get to your feet, go for it. I know that she did have some relief then and was able to get back to work and was in a much better situation than she had been after I talked to her. And if you guys did not see that video, it is uploaded onto my website. Same place I load all of the classes. It's a 3-minute video that I had sent to her. So For the neck and shoulder, I already kind of talked about that. So number 6 and 7. So the number 6 over there, that's the upper part of the spine. So in that cervical spine area of the body. So on the outside of the thumb, cervical spine, inside again, that's your neck muscles and working that area that gets really tight when we're having tension or headaches. Support of your head tension. I use peppermint and frankincense. They are really great for me for support of tension in the head, think headaches, but that type of stuff, support in the head. Points, like I said, number 2, number 1, 7, 6, 12. Those are all really great areas for that head tension. So like I said earlier, you want to do intermittent pressure. So on and off pressure. So using a couple of fingers and at most maybe holding at an area. So if you find an area where it's relieving that tension or you know that it's at your eye, you might want to hold for 3 to 5 seconds, but you don't want to be holding for long periods of time. And you don't need to push super hard. It doesn't need to hurt. You just want it to relax the area. So that intermittent pressure and stopping and holding for just a couple seconds and then moving on. And you can come back to it a couple of times until you get relief. A lot of times, if it is a headache and you find the spot, you actually will start to feel it drain. And when you let go of the spot, it'll come flooding back. So that's a good way to figure out for headache type support. You might actually be able to find the point and actually feel it draining for a little bit. But again, you don't want to be holding more than 3 to 5 seconds. You want to move on and then come back if needed. That little bit of time is fine, but you don't want to be digging until you get pain because that's not what we're looking for here. We're looking to support the body and to feel better. So that is that page. I broke down these oils that we talked about onto their own separate pages. But that is the reflex chart. So we talked about breathe earlier. That's our respiratory blend. It helps maintaining those clear airways and easy breathing. A lot of people use it for sleep at night. They put it into their diffuser, or again, you can put that on your big toe for your brain reflex. But the reason breathe is really great is a lot of people have respiratory issues that make them struggle with their sleep. Seasonal threats. So think allergies. When they say seasonal threats, that's what you would be thinking, but support of those things. There is a list here of the ingredients that are in Breathe. They make an entire product line of Breathe products. I love all of them. I really love the Breathe drops. I have them at home and at my office. So that is something I really love. And Breathe is the one I've talked about. For those that still need to wear a mask, I know that the vast majority of places have gone to allowing you to be mask free now. But if you are someone who goes to work, Breathe is the one I put on the inside of my mask when I need to wear it. So that is your Breathe oil and your Breathe products. We touched on Deep Blue. I love the Deep Blue rub. I do have arthritis in my hands, so I do put it on my hands. But keep in mind, if you use the Deep Blue rub, you don't want to touch your eyes. But it has a heat and cooling type effect, and it has like a mentholy type scent. I really love the rub, but all of the products are great. I am currently taking the Deep Blue gels, the Fenfol, I can't say that word, but the capsules. I am taking that right now. It's actually the first time I've taken it on a regular basis, so I can't give you a great review on it yet. I've had it, but I've only taken it like off and on. So this is the first I am starting. I started last week taking it because my joints have really been flaring up on me. So I started taking that daily. So I'll have to get back to you on my personal review of it, but I know other people have had great luck. I do use the oil sometimes, but I really, really love the rub. So that's the one that I use the most, but it's a really great massage type oil or relaxation for your muscles. Like I said, the Deep Blue rub has the heat and cooling effect as well. So that's your Deep Blue rub. Aroma Touch I mentioned. This one here, it is called the massage blend, but it's another one that touches on having inflammatory type response. So helps with muscles and relieving the body's tension. There are a bunch of oils that are really great for inflammatory type support out there. I use frankincense a lot. I oddly seem to be an oddball here, but I love lemongrass, rosemary, and marjoram together with frankincense. That is something I do a lot. I love those four together. Is something I did long before a lot of the blends were out, and I still continue to do. I sell it at my office as a joint support blend, but it is a blend that you can make when you have all of those oils. You can make it. But all of those oils are really great for support of the body. And I think lemongrass, because it helps the thyroid and so many other things, lemongrass, and it's a very cheap oil. I just love lemongrass. So I use it in a lot of blends, but this is the Aroma Touch. Peppermint. This is one I carry everywhere. I use it, like I said, when I'm getting headaches or tension. I use my peppermint. I personally carry the beadlets, and I pop them in my mouth and crunch them. I've talked about that at a lot of classes, but if I wouldn't have the beadlets, I would probably just put a drop of peppermint on my tongue. That is only for doTERRA products. Please do not use essential oils internally that you are unsure of. For doTERRA, the ones that are approved FDA for internal do have supplement facts on the bottles. So that is how you know that they have been approved for internal usage. But peppermint's really great for also invigorating. So if you are feeling really sleepy, or if you're having respiratory issues or digestive issues, peppermint's really great for a lot of supports of the body. So I have used it for all of those things. That is your peppermint. Frankincense. So frankincense is one I always tell everybody you should be using, everybody should be using. It is an amazing, amazing oil. It's being studied by a lot of different places. You can go on PubMed and find all sorts of studies on frankincense and its ability to help with support of all sorts of amazing things. But it has anti-cancer properties. It has inflammatory support properties. It has probably 20 things. I should have gotten out my modern essentials. I could have read to you the properties that are in it, but it is just an amazing one. And one of the really cool things about doTERRA's is that they actually use 3 different species of frankincense to make their oil, which is something that I don't think any other ones do, but they actually are using several different species of the frankincense in order to get our oil. So you're getting properties from different parts of the world. And those properties are their properties come from how the plants are grown, how the weather is, all of that different stuff. So there's all sorts of amazing properties in the frankincense, but you can use this one internally as well, as long as you're using doTERRA's. I do put a drop, if I am having a migraine, I put a drop on my thumb and I hold it to the roof of my mouth along with a peppermint beadlet. But then I'm doing those reflexes that we talked about earlier, the neck, the brain, and working those areas reflex wise. So that is your frankincense. I think that was all the oils that I had listed on that slide earlier. So those were the oils I was going to talk about today with this. What I'm going to do is, instead of opening up for questions at the very end, even though I have the slide there, I'm going to have you guys take a chance here to ask questions that you may have and areas you might have for support, so I can show you some easy reflexes at home. And then we'll go into the purchasing. I think everybody's here tonight already has an account and knows how to purchase, but I'm going to go over that stuff after the questioning time. So if anybody has a specific area that they are having tension or other things that you want me to show you some reflexes on your hands that you can be doing, or give you suggestions for oils, whatever pops into my head, you can type that in, or you can raise your hand, or if somebody wants to chat, you guys let me know. Oh, we lost one. One of the people had to log off apparently. Did anybody have any specific areas that they wanted to ask questions about? I have, somebody has their hand up. Anna, go ahead. You can unmute and ask your question.
How about for my hip, especially my left hip, my right hip?
All right. So first off, a lot of times hip can also be sciatic nerve. So hip on your foot would be, there's a little bump on the bottom of your foot that's kind of in the center on the outside. but going up the side of your hand or the outside of your foot. I hope you guys can see me. So it is going to be about in the center area is going to be the main reflex. Now, there are also some acupressure points that are taught in a lot of reflexology classes. Acupressure is a different chart, but there is some spots like behind the ankle on the outside. There's like a spot, so it'd be about here on your wrist.
Look, Ray, put your camera down a little bit. I'm seeing more of your head. Great.
Okay.
Now
I
show
wish I
me.
could see myself. I don't know why I can't. I never see my camera, so I can't
Really?
see me. I'm seeing your camera, which doesn't even have a picture. So that's what I see. But it's going up the side of the hand. And then let me go
Okay.
back to the foot chart that was earlier. Let's see here. Chart. Okay, not that one. So on this chart here, do you see where the large intestine is at?
Yes.
Okay, so on the very outside, there's like a bump on the foot there at
Mhm.
approximately that area. That's where it would be on your foot as well. I should have put a different reflexology chart on here. I did so many charts and I didn't do the one that would make the most sense for that. But it would be approximately on the exterior, right beside where that large intestine is, on the outside of the foot, but right in the center. There's actually a bump on the foot. On the hand, you don't have a bump there. So it would just be thumb walking or finger walking up the side for your hip. But the other thing that I would suggest is on the foot, it would be the heel or the backs of the ankles. On your hand, the very bottom here, because it's possible it could also be sciatic nerves. So going right around this area on the lower back where the nerve could be,
Mhm.
or even, I wish I could get to my foot easily, but it would be, let's see, on the outsides of the heel on either side and going up your ankle as well would also be great spots for hitting for your hip type area, just because there's a lot of nerve stuff in there as well. So on the outside of the hand and on the inside of the hand, or same as the foot, the inside and the outside would probably be your best areas for that. Some of those oils that we talked about, the deep blue rub, the aroma touch, those might really be good supports for you. Copaiba, we didn't talk about that one tonight.
Okay.
That's a really great one since it has that cannabinoids in it. Has a lot of
Cannabinoid.
inflammatory response type oils in there as well.
What if my issue was a bone thing?
Like a bone spur?
I was diagnosed with osteoporosis in my bone, in my hip, that hip.
Okay.
Would it
Well,
still
then
help?
I would probably go back to that, what I was mentioning earlier, the ones that have like the frankincense, the lemongrass, the rosemary. Those types ones are the ones that I lean towards. So I do the lemongrass, rosemary, marjoram, and frankincense together. So those 4 is what I do. Really great for support for like arthritis and that type of stuff. There are a bunch of other blends out there. That's just one that I really like and feel is really helpful, but that Copaiba would also be really great for that.
Okay.
But again, your frankincense, but I know you already probably use your frankincense a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I kind of fell by the wayside on using it, but I've been using it a lot lately.
any other
Okay,
questions, Anna?
appreciate that. Thank you.
You're
No,
welcome.
that's been really hurting me. I've been doing a lot of gardening, and that
Okay.
kind of aggravated it.
Right. Jessica and Cherie, did either of you have any questions? I think Michelle had to leave. She was in earlier. If you guys didn't have questions, I'll keep moving forward here on the slides.
I'm good.
Okay, perfect. All right. I am going to keep going forward. So you guys already, because we're recording, I want to keep going with how to purchase for anybody who watches the recording, because we do get people who watch. So ways to purchase. So there is the retail product where you can just go online to Jessica's website or my website and you can purchase at full wholesale pricing. I do not suggest that for anyone because it is so beneficial to get their wholesale membership. It is like having a Sam's Club membership, and it is $35 for the year. And every subsequent year, it is $25, but they give you a peppermint for free. And the peppermint is like a $29 value. So you're basically buying yourself a peppermint every other subsequent year to continue with the wholesale account. So the wholesale account is what I suggest for anyone who's looking to get into purchasing products. You can host a class in order to earn some free products or to help get credit towards getting a kit to get a wholesale membership. There's a lot of ways to get into doing that. We do also have a account for people who want to have a business. I'm not going to go into that, but that is something that if you wanted to do a business, they do also have accounts for that. It is called a wellness advocate account. Same type of pricing to set it up. It's $35 or purchasing a kit. I personally suggest getting a kit because the $35, it gets you your membership, but you don't have any products to start with. So I started with a kit that they no longer have, but it is one that has the same products as this Healthy Start kit that's shown here. So it's basically that kit, but I didn't get a diffuser. So that's what I started with. And they do have kits that start at $105 and up. So you can either pay $35 or you can purchase a kit that has products in it. And then you get 25% off and more for the entire remainder of you having your membership. You do not have any minimums that you have to purchase. You can purchase once and be done. They do have add-on monthly shipments if you want to, but that is an optional program. It does come with a lot of benefits. It is what I did almost right from the get-go, because once I was hooked on that Balance essential oil, I wanted other products. So it was something that was very beneficial to me, and they give a lot of other freebies to the people who do their monthly program, and you can earn free products by using their monthly program. But you can do just the wholesale account and you can purchase once or twice a year, or you can do whatever works best for you, but it gives you 25% off that retail pricing. So that is that. I did go and put in the June product promotions. So this morning they announced what the June product promotions are, and there is a really, really awesome one for all of you that already have accounts. They are doing a 100 PV and a 200 PV freebie this month. That is for any purchase. It doesn't even have to be loyalty rewards, but you purchase 100 product value and you get a Breathe Touch for free. If you purchase 200 product value, whether it's at retail or wholesale, you can get the Breathe Touch, a peppermint in the large 15 mil, the Breathe respiratory drops, which we talked about earlier, and you get to have the full size 15 milliliter Breathe for free if you do a 200 PV order. They are doing for the loyalty rewards people, the people who do the monthly shipping, our free product of the month. If you order at least 100 PV, you'll get a wild orange this month. That has to be by the 15th to get the wild orange. Those of you that already do loyalty rewards, you probably already aware how the 100 PV freebie works every month, but they do a freebie every month, the 1st through the 15th. If you don't know how it works, please let Jessica or I know so we can explain how all of that works. For everybody, whether you have a wholesale account or not, you get 10% off of Melissa. So retail pricing, you get 10% off of if you don't have a wholesale account. If you do have a wholesale account, you get your 25% off. And then you get another 10% off on top of that. That is the entire month of June, unless they run out of product. So that is all going on this month. And the other amazing thing is that they came out. We talked about this at my last class. Those of you I think all of you that are currently here were at the last Make and Take. And I was talking about Citrus Bloom because I had it in the diffuser. Not only did they come out with a kit, now this is a limited time kit. This kit is still available as of this morning. I didn't check this afternoon, but it was still available. I do expect it to sell out. But this kit is like $60 some for everything that's in the picture. And they are permanently putting Northern Escape and the regular Citrus Bloom in the product line. They will be a part of doTERRA forever, but the products here in the kit, these are a limited time offer, but they are that Citrus Bloom that I had in my diffuser. I love it. So I'm really excited about it. I actually ordered extra of the soap for myself. I got a kit plus an extra soap because the On Guard is the only soap they have. So that is something awesome they are doing. And I was really excited to see that they announced today that they are going to have the Citrus Bloom 15 milliliter and the Northern Escape 15 milliliter in the permanent product line from here forward. This kit came out, I believe, last week. I am very surprised it was still available today. So they must have made a decent amount of them or people just missed it. I happened to be online and just saw it because I don't think they sent out an email about it until today, but it did come out last week. So if you're wanting that kit, you do want to get it in there. If you're using it towards the 100 PV or 200 PV freebies, keep in mind that you're looking at the product value PV, and this one, even though the price value is 60 some dollars, the PV is less than that. And that is true of a lot of the products that are not just straight essential oils, but you want to make sure that you understand what PV is. If you need help with that, let me know. But those are some really awesome things that doTERRA is doing in June. So if anybody's wanting any of that stuff, you might want to get on and do your orders. So our next classes, now I am going on vacation for 2 weeks, so we will not be doing Zoom until 3 weeks out, and it will be on a Thursday night. I do not know what the topic is yet. I am considering maybe having a guest speaker so Jessica and I can have a break from it. I know tonight I kind of took over and Jessica didn't get to talk much. But I believe I'm going to be seeking out possibly somebody to teach for the Thursday one because I will be a week back from vacation, but we will have a Zoom on Thursday, the 24th. I just don't know what the topic is yet, or if I will be teaching or someone else. We are also doing a business building one. So anybody who is looking to build a business or to just share with friends, that Zoom will be on Sunday, June 26th. You do need to RSVP for that one because we will do a separate link, and that we do not record. Business ones, I do not record. So that will be coming up at the end of the month. We are planning an in-person make and take for my house on Sunday, June 26th. I haven't exactly picked a time. It will be probably in the evening. So it's kind of going to depend on what time's getting dark, because I am going to try to go outside if the weather holds up. Last time we ended up having to come inside. Again, I will try to limit that one to 10 people because of the spacing I have in case we end up in the house. But I did put on extra blends. I actually have more than 5 on here, but they are all roller blends. So it's going to be an emotion focused class. So we'll be talking about what's going to be helping with emotional balance. So we're going to have laser focus. So that one is going to be focusing, cool your hot mess. That one is for cooling the body, but also hormonal type support emotionally. Bye-bye anxiousness. That one's an anxiety support type blend. Blissfully calm. Again, that one is just kind of a grounding and anxiety type one. Your morning meditation, bringing you to a grounded but kind of alert type of place. Happy hippie, that one's another one that's going to be kind of like a joyful, happy one. And then your sleep better, that one's for support of stuff at bedtime. So that'll be the roller blends that we have at the make and take. Make and takes, again, it's free to come to the class, and then you choose what you want to make, and they're $5 each since it'll just be roller blends at that class. I do need RSVPs for that. So I will be sending out reminders later in June. I will be planning some walks when I get back from vacation. Those are mostly for socializing, but also to stay accountable to staying healthy with moving our bodies. We do talk possibly about a little bit of products. I know that Cherie and I talked a little bit about products at the last one, but it's more of a socializing educational thing. I am working extra hours this week, so it won't happen until I get back from vacation. So it will be sometime mid-June on. I will announce some walk and learns probably while I'm on vacation. I'll probably send an email or text out with dates once I get an idea of how I'm relaxed and all of that. I think I know everybody that came tonight. It was Anna, Cherie, and Michelle. So somebody will be getting a prize. I don't know what it'll be, but you need to pay attention to the emails to see if you win. That is how you get your product. So you need to respond to the email once I send out the email. I am hoping to get the email out either tomorrow or Thursday before I leave for vacation. So I am hoping to have that sent out, and that will have our link to this class. You're welcome to share the links with friends, family, whoever you think might benefit from tonight's class, whatever you would like to do. Jessica, do you have anything to say tonight or anything I missed on the classes?
Nope, you did good.
Okay. Did anybody else have any questions, comments, or other things they thought of that we didn't go over that have to do with the essential oils and reflexology? If you had other questions on that, I can answer those now if you thought of them while I was chatting. Okay, I'm guessing that we're good there. So I appreciate that you guys all came. I hope that it was helpful and educational. I hope you learned a little bit about reflexology and some new stuff about the essential oils. I appreciate you all coming. I'm going to stop the recording, and then if you have any business questions or other questions that are non-related, you can ask those. So let me stop the recording.